What's going on, you guys? This is Coach Ike, and we have another episode of Everything Uncovered. I'm excited for my guest today. For this is one of my roommates who I had the pleasure of rooming with while I played professionally. So I'm definitely excited. I want you guys to hear this story, man. This guy here, resilience. That's what I think about. Putting the work in and the work paying off. And now he's doing amazing things, making impact in his community as well as helping young kids. So I'm excited for you guys to meet my guest. Before we get into that, I want to share with you guys, like I said, new apparel. Okay. Authority sports shirts are in, hoodies are on the way. If you guys would be interested in that, you definitely can reach out to me on social media, DM me. Okay. All our social media will be in the description tab, as well as we also have virtual training that we also offer. So if you're not local, we have virtual programs for depending on whatever age limit or your skill set, we can help you out. We also have a DB membership, which is a mentorship program where not only do we help you on the field to be the best player you can possibly be and reach your goals, but also off the field as a young man and in the community and being productive. So these are the things we focus on. In the DB membership, we go over film breakdown, we go over drills, both in person and virtually. So rather if you off in college, you can always be tapped in. You're not missing out. We go over chalk talks, going over film breakdown, all these things that help you on the field. We also help recruiting. We also talk about finances and how we can manage those things going forward and just be an asset to those around us and our family. So without further ado, man, I want to welcome my guest. Like I said, my roommate, we were teammates and as well as competitors at one point in time. I want you to introduce Cortez Stubbs, also known as Stubbo. Stubbo, what's good, bro?
What's up, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Man, everything going good, man. Just, steady just working and grinding right now. Just trying to, put everything in place.
I hear that, man. And where you located at now, man?
I'm in Tampa, Florida still down here in Tampa.
Tampa, man. So I shared a little bit about Stubbo, man, Cortez Stubb. We was roommates. We definitely grinding. We're not the biggest. Cortez will always say, "Nah, I'm a little bit taller than you." He always had to say that when we was around each other, around each other. But now the entrepreneur, playing professional. Also coach as well, but I want to start as an entrepreneur, man. You have your own business, and I want you to share about that. But what now that you're an entrepreneur, man, what have you learned about business and what have you learned about yourself?
What I learned really for the most part, man, is just relationships. Relationships with different people, different with parents of that nature as well. The biggest thing is with me is more so the business that I'm in is, personal training, performance coach. It's more about word of mouth in a sense that goes around for me to kind of get my business a little bit more than just, doing those typical ads and all that type of stuff. But what I learned for myself is more so just grinding it out, man, just understanding that it's all on you at the end of the day. There's nobody else you can kind of call or just, it don't fall on nobody else but you because it's your business. And at the end of the day, you just got to go out there and continue to grind and kind of put that work in and just see the future. Like I like to say, man, my kind of saying is like seeing is believing. So I see it before it happens. So that's the biggest thing for me, though.
Bad, bad. Man, tell us about your business and tell us also the vision that you have for it. Like, how do you see it growing and going to the next level?
So my business is One Stop Elite Sports Performance. So I'm a one-stop shop of all sports or just all sports in the sense. I do speed, agility. I do position work as well, and I also tap in a little bit of soccer and lacrosse as well. And my So I have also two businesses in a sense. So I do the One Stop Elite and I do my DB Mastery Academy as well. So with the DB Mastery Academy is more so focused on DBs, just trying to get those DB guys that, like I like to say, I also coach. So the biggest thing with me is with the DB Mastery Academy is more so trying to help those young athletes that's getting overlooked by those coaches, that coaches really don't have time to kind of put that extra time in a sense. So I want to be that guy that kind of help those guys get on the field and kind of be that, dang, I didn't know he was like that in a sense. So that's my goal with the DB Match Academy. I want to be really one of those guys that, you can kind of come down and be like, hey, we need to go down there to Tampa, man, to go holler at Stubbo. Yeah. He's going to put you in the right place and kind of put you where you need to go and guide you. And it's not also about just training the kids. It's also a lifetime relationship with these kids as well. So that's where I see where it's going, though, in a sense.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. If you guys are in Tampa, you guys want to be developed. I personally know Stubbo. I'm stamping him, for his worth. Definitely reach out to him if you're in Tampa, Florida, man. So what drove you to become an entrepreneur? Because, at one point in time, we was talking about just playing football. But at the same time, we did talk about this, and we both are entrepreneurs. So what drove you to become an entrepreneur?
It kind of drove me a little earlier than usual. I would say COVID drove me definitely right into it. Kind of not understanding the business of other businesses, working for other people in the sense of some people may not have your best interest in heart than you do in a sense. So I looked at it as more so this is a time for me to step out on my own and kind of take that jump, leap of faith in a sense and kind of and do that. So that's what kind of pushed me of doing that and kind of stepping into that, and also trying to help me build other side hustles in a sense as well. I don't want to say side hustles. I want to say more so, like I said, like getting into houses and real estate and things of that nature. So I feel like this is just a stepping stone for that, of learning how that business goes, and now kind of I can step into other lanes as well while I'm still training and doing my business as well.
Nah, for sure. I think 2020, a lot of people eyes got open, rather they got released from their job, they got a severance, but people understand like, hey, it's a different way, and I have to figure this out. So I'm glad that 2020 happened, as far as people were starting to depend on themselves rather than so much employer or the government. So, man, I want to take it back, man, because you have done some things in your life that not a lot of people said they can. And I also always like to go back to the origin of it, where it started. So can you share your childhood, man, and what it was like to grow up in Alabama, man?
Man, Alabama, man, is one of those type of states, especially where I'm from. Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama is kind of rough around the edges there, man. So it's one of those type of cities, man. You gonna get with it, or you gonna get ate up in a sense. So growing up, man, I can say this, man. I love playing football, man. Just going out playing football with the fellas, man. And I can say that's one thing that I truly love doing every chance that I got. Like I said, man, it was rough at times, but at the same time, man, we made it through, with a single parent mom and everything, taking care of me and my little brother. I had a realization that, man, at the end of the day, man, she was a young parent, and she kind of held her own at 22 with two kids. So that kind of made me know that, at the end of the day, man, I can go through anything and kind of step out of it and just continue that grind. I think that's what my grind come from, is from my mama, in the sense of just how the way she held that thing down, even though we had, our differences and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, man, that's something that I kind of pride myself on, and kind of, I guess, why I had that chip on my shoulder all this time of playing ball and everything. Just, I'm the liz one out there, but I still can bang with you, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure, man, for sure. So I want to go a little bit further, because it seemed like football, you was introduced football young, how most of us are. So now you get into high school and you go to I believe Huffman. Yeah,
Huffman High School. Yeah.
Huffman High School, man. So during your years there, can you share your recruiting process during high school? Rather, were you playing multiple sports? And then what did that look like going forward to your senior year?
Okay. So going into high school football, man, just speak back on it, man. I didn't play my ninth grade year. My mom wouldn't allow me to play my ninth grade year, just due to transportation or just financial reasons of the sense. She kind of was against it in a sense. So going into my ninth grade spring year, I kind of snuck out and played football on my own in a sense. So with that being said, I had to kind of figure it out in the sense of trying to pay for, like, spirit packs and things of that nature. So I kind of sold candy, chips, honey buns of that nature, just to try to make ends meet. And so I played my 10th grade year, and then going into my 11th grade year, I was kind of playing. I wasn't playing, but in a sense, I was getting ready to play, in a sense. But just due to home issues of that nature, I had quit my 11th grade year. I didn't play the 11th grade year. I went through spring ball in the summer and everything. Then some happened between me and my mom, so I kind of quit the football team and kind of like just sat out that whole year. But I knew then though that's what I wanted to do, was play football. So I went back my 12th grade year. The spring, didn't have nobody recruited me, anything like that. I went to school with Andre Smith. He probably was the number one lineman in Alabama, number one probably lineman in Alabama at the time. He went to University of Alabama. But I came out with him. He probably was the only one probably really got to a big school in a sense. But I did end up going to Concordia College, Selma, Alabama, where, funny story is, rest in peace, Coach Wilson, man. He died probably like 2 weeks ago, man. I walked up to him in school one day and was like, Coach, I want to play college football, just out of the blue. Like, that's something that I wanted to do. 2 weeks later, man, he came with a scholarship to Concordia College, Alabama, Selma, Alabama, and it was like, that's all she wrote. That's all God had to do, is just give me an opportunity. And I took it, man. And that's why what got me where I'm at right now is like coaching and professional and training as well. So, and that's what happened with that situation, man. I ended up going to Concordia College, Selma, Alabama, man. And that kind of sparked everything from there.
No, for sure. Because that was my next question. Like, what made you stay in Alabama? But you said basically, like, your coach, he looked out, it was a blessing, man. But I want to go back because you shared something about, you quitting, and we both coach, and sometimes you don't understand the dynamic of what a kid is going through at home, and that's the reason why they're acting how they are or whatnot. And even when I was playing, I had a teammate. He would sleep over whatnot, and he would share sometimes what was going on at home, but he wouldn't go into details, which he didn't need to. But at practice, he would want to play, like, Nas, I want to play this and that. But then he wouldn't come to practice, and then as we got older, he was like, man, Arness, I was going through this and that at home. So it's very important as coaches, to really understand what these kids is going through. For your coach to really bless you, man, that changed your future. What you're doing now. Who knows what you would have been doing, but just by him blessing you and seeing something in you, man. So that's awesome. So you end up going to school. You stay in Alabama. So most people they try to stay home. So this was a blessing for you. You get up to Concordia. Tell us, what was your initial reaction when you got up to college? And then what did you learn about yourself now that you're in a different environment from home?
My first initial experience was just, it was a lot of us up there at the time. There was a lot. It was one of those schools that, so you know how them colleges beginning football programs, so they try to get a lot of kids in just to make up for that, how can I say this, the money wise in a sense of that nature. But getting up there, man, it wasn't too far from home, man. So I never got really homesick. I was really cool. My mindset really, man, was just work, man. Just come in here and work, man. You know, didn't think nothing of it or going professional and then like that. I just wanted to play football, man, at the end of the day, man. And like I tell these kids these days, man, if you really want to play football, man, and you really want to do something, man, you gonna do it. It ain't gonna be no hesitant of I don't know and all this. No, man, if you really want to play ball, you gonna play.
Exactly.
And that's just how what it comes down to. And that's what my first initial going into it was that. And what I learned for myself though, man, because I had probably like a couple of friends that came up with me, probably like a few. And throughout that process, man, a lot of them guys left, man, you know, and I had it, like I said, I had another chip on myself, like I'm fending for myself. Like I'm out here by myself. I gotta get it. Yeah, I had my few friends of that nature, but at the same time, it ain't nothing like growing up with some people that came out there with you.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing with me, man, was just, man, I had a chip on my shoulder, man. I just didn't. I wanted to be the best at the end of the day at the situation that I was in.
Yeah. Oh. And I think that's very important because JK, who we know through Arena, I played with him, my teammate, and he played for Arizona Rattlers. He always said dominating where you're at. Right. You know, you're not satisfied with where you at, but where you at right now, just dominate that situation. So when you got up to the school, they was just starting a football program.
It was the second year of the program. So they didn't play any football games. Well, they played football games the first year, but it was the second year of the program though.
Okay.
So they still trying to get kids to come in, you know what I'm saying? So, and there was a lot of kids from the Birmingham area that went up there. So that correlation kind of helped it kind of be cool in a sense, because you're not too far from home, because you know, old buddy from down the way, you played against him. Or, you know, in a funny story, my cousin ended up signing up, didn't even know it. Like, so it's just crazy, man. But yeah.
So share your experience on and off the field, because I share this all the time. At Middle Tennessee, on the field, football. That's my place. Off the field, though, I didn't like it in Tennessee. I realized, you know, I'm not a country dude. I need to be around a city, have access. So how was it on the field for you, playing wise and things of that sort? And then how was it off the field once you got to your living situation, whatever it was?
Off the field, man. Off the field, it was kind of, you know, typical college in a sense. You know, it's a struggle in a sense, man. Like I try to say, like it's a 4-year school, but it's like a JUCO up there. You know, you're fending for yourself, trying to figure out meals here and there. But at the end of the day, we survived. But like I said, it taught us how to be responsible at the end of the day, man. How to take care of your own, how not to depend on nobody. And you know, going through this transition of playing football and living on your own now, away from home. So that's the biggest thing. On the field, man, it was kind of at first it was kind of a struggle. I'm not gonna say it was a struggle. My first year, I never expected to play in a sense. My mindset always been my time gonna come when my time come at the end of the day. I'm not one of those cats, I need to be playing, I need to be doing this. No, at the end of the day, I know my role. I know how to play my role, and I know how to get back. My mindset was just get better at my craft, do what I got to do, get in front of the coaches, and study my film. By my junior year, man, that's when everything started clicking for me, man. And that's when I had the biggest year of my college career is probably 6 interceptions, a few multiple tackles, a lot of tackles, and just, you know. And that's when I knew, man, I'm probably gonna do this thing professionally. And that's when I really turned it on after that junior year. Like, okay, it's locked in, lock and loaded, man. So that was my own field experience in a sense. But yeah.
So just like everybody who plays collegiate football, your career comes to the end. The only thing we don't know is how that's gonna happen. If we're gonna be done, like you know, if we want to play professional, go into working career, whatever it is. At what point in time did you know you wanted to continue to pursue football?
My junior year, man. My
Junior
junior
year?
year, my red shirt junior, I want to say, I think it was my sophomore red shirt year. Yeah, it was my red shirt sophomore year. One of those, you know how I did. But that's when I knew, once I had all those stats and I had those interceptions and stuff, I like, yeah, man, I think I'm gonna continue to do this. And then after my last year, I didn't have a pro day, man. Like, that's crazy. I didn't have a pro day. So we went to Atlanta, man, thinking that we could able to jump into their pro day, man, and kind of show our skills and our talents. But kind of find out, man, only guys that could have did it was the Atlanta guys. So I didn't have a pro day. I used to go to the NFL combine regionals, trying to do those workouts as well. But I knew I wanted to play ball professionally. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, how I could do it, man, that's how I was trying to do it in that sense. So like I said, my sophomore redshirt year, my redshirt sophomore year, that's when I know that I wanted to continue to kind of continue this path on playing football.
You brought up something. You brought about redshirting because it's not really talked about much.
Right.
You know, people who have done it, they share their experiences. Can you share your experience? Because I know some people who redshirt, and during the time they were redshirting, they really didn't have football. Like, they didn't need to go to the games or whatnot, so they were getting in trouble.
Right.
So, or they wasn't taking care of their grades because they had no motivation. I've seen other people who take care of like the advantage, like really getting bigger, stronger, all these things. And once they was done with it, they really catapult their career. What was your red shirt? What was that like for you to red shirt? How was that on and off the field? Because once again, when you red shirt, you're not playing. So how was that for you?
Like I said, man, I've never been that guy to just be, I need to be on the field. Like, I took advantage of it, as in, man, just learning the system and trying to get better at my craft at the end of the day, man. And I wanted to just, I'm you know me, I'm kind of laid back cat. So it's not nothing too much don't get to me unless you just really poking at me. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't poking at me and you just let me know what it is straight up, I'm good, man. At the end of the day, I look at it like I said, man, when my time come, and I know I'm gonna take full advantage of that opportunity. And that's just what it came down to.
So you shared you wanted to play professional. Now, there is a lot of ways. We got the NFL at this time. You know, overseas was big coming out. You have indoor football, CFL. So share with us, first of all, how do you even prepare to play professionally? What do you go about? Who do you have to make the connection with? Workout was not, and then it became a reality for you because you did end up playing professional. So share what you had to do prior to, and then who you signed with, and how did that process go?
Man, so it's all started, man, just working out, training after. So I graduated. My last football season was college was 2010 fall. I didn't go back to the spring school. I didn't go back to school in the spring. So that spring, man, just trained my butt off, man, just trying to get that 40 time down. So the biggest thing was just trying to get that 40 time down and trying to be physically ready to whatever opportunity comes. So what I was doing was just going to a lot of CFL workouts, arena workouts. And I also, during that time, I was working a 9 to 5, a warehouse job. I was working at Hippie's warehouse. I was working there 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning, man. Then I get right back up, man, and go train at 9 a.m. I wake up by 9 a.m., go out and go get my training in, come back and take me a little nap and get ready to go back to work. So that was the grind for me coming out, was that aspect. And my luck is I met this guy, man. He was an agent guy, and he put me on with Coach Gibson, man, in Columbus, Georgia, man. So I ended up signing with them without Gibson even seeing me. Without even seeing me, but Gibson, hey, I got to see you. So I ended up going down there and doing a workout for him in that in December, and did that workout. Yeah, his mouth okay, he can
Mhm.
play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Columbus, Georgia for my first professional arena football team down in Columbus. Played with them. What? Let me go back. Signed with them, went to training camp with them, got cut the last cut in training camp. And then after about 3 days later, end up calling me back. And then I end up going back, going back and playing the rest of the season. It just shows you how God works in the sense of that's where he wanted me to be. So I tell people, like, if it's meant, it's meant. It's gonna happen. So that was my grind leading up to my first arena football team playing ball.
And then there you made a second team, all league that year, which, like you said, you didn't play the full season. So that's a testament of the work you put in and things of that sort. And then you know, people don't understand there's like different tiers of arena. All of it's not the same.
Right.
So what was at this time, what was the Lions? What were they in?
𝐑𝐈𝐆. So that's probably below the arena. So it's probably indoor. It was probably arena, indoor, and then 𝐑𝐈𝐆. We probably was up under that indoor football.
Got you. So then from there, you get an opportunity with Jacksonville Sharks. So now you go up to the big boys. Can you explain that transition for you, mindset wise?
I want to say I felt like this was the opportunity to finally continue to go bigger in a sense. Because, you know, our goal is, all right, we got the arena now. Okay, I got the A1 now. Now I need to kind of get into the CFL. Now it's CFL, NFL now. So getting put on with the Jacksonville Sharks, man, that was great, man. You know, running the fastest time that I ever ran. You know what I'm saying? So and that's how I got put on with them, man. Going up there, I can commend these two other guys, man, that kind of helped me learn, like help me as in just training wise. Maurice Dupree and London Crawford, man, because that whole summer, man, we kind of trained our butts off because we was staying in Columbus, Georgia, man, and our goal was to just get further up. So by us pushing each other and, you know, fighting, arguing, all that type of stuff, it just created us to be better on that football field and competition wise. So with the Jacksonville Sharks, man, ended up getting put on with them, made it all the way to the last cut. And then as I ended up getting going back down to the PIFL and ended up going to, I was still with Columbus Lions, but then they traded me to Knoxville Nighthawks. Ended up getting traded to the Knoxville Nighthawks. Played a few games with them, and then I ended up getting traded towards the end of the season to the Alabama Hammers, and then ended up winning the championship with them in the PIFL towards the end. And then after that, TV, Tanner Verner, you know, TV, he ended up calling me like, hey, man, we need a middle guy up here in Orlando. I like, man, I'm ready. Like, whatever. Like, this, so PFL's over. I'm like, I'm ready. So then Sean Cohan, I think he ended up calling me, boom, boom. They really didn't want to pull the plug, so I kind of had to holler at Dean, like, Orlando just holler at me. They want to be like, give me the number stuff, you know. Like, he go, I bet. So Dean kind of pushed it through. So ended up going to Orlando, man. At the end of this was all in 2013, man. So I ended up playing with probably like 4 or 5 teams that year. So ended up going put on with the Orlando Predators, man, at the end, man, and kind of that when I was like, damn, like all that hard work, man, it's paying off. So stay on this straight path, Stubbo. You know what I'm saying? Don't veer off. So end up getting put on with the Orlando Predators, man, and that's all she wrote, man. I never looked back to go back down to that lower league, like, and that's just what it was. It's AFL. Now I'm trying to get to the CFL. Hopefully, if I get an opportunity in the NFL, that'll be great. But so.
Exactly. So that following year, I get traded up there. So that's how we meet. 2014. We eventually become roommates. I want to say, what was that, 15 or so?
Yeah. Like 15, yeah.
Yeah, 15 or whatnot. But you know, us as athletes, we understand how the business is. But the fans, the people, our families, they really don't know. So can you please just share what it was like off the field, as far as the stress you were dealing with during this time? Because people getting cut, people coming in all the time. We don't know what's happening. We
Right.
just hear the ball. And especially if you're not the guy, if it's not your turn, like, you can be balling, you can be out at any point. So
Right.
can you share your most difficult time up to this point in your career?
So my most difficult time probably was when I did get cut by the Orlando Predators in 2000, I think it was 14. Towards the end of the season. I kind of had a hamstring injury the whole season trying to get back. And I just couldn't get right. But towards the end, I kind of felt like I was getting back to my norm and everything like that. So that experience, man, taught me a lot. I can blame myself in a sense. I feel like I could have put more into what I had. I think outside distraction was kind of holding me back in a sense. And I feel like even though I'm on the football field showing that I'm ready to play, ready to go and everything of that nature, I feel like the outside distractions was kind of hindering me and kind of holding me back in a sense of really kind of stepping out of that level into the next level that I should have been going to. And what happened was I ended up getting cut by the Orlando Predators in 2014 towards the end of the season. It kind of showed me, how can I say this without saying, know what's going on always in a sense. Don't think that you good,
Don't get comfortable.
even right, even though the people in your face seem in some way, but at the same time, I can even go back to just me being a coach in a professional league as well. Like at the end of the day, man, coaches got to have the next man up. Like you can sit around being injured all day. At the end of the day, man, their job is to win and put the right pieces in place. So I can't even fault that individual for that happening, because at the end of the day, now I understand the business aspect of coaching. And like I tell parents all the time too, man, it's like you really don't know it. The league ain't what you really think it is. Like, like it ain't what you really think it is, man. It's bigger than what you think. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand this thing and kind of do your homework and do your research and kind of talk to guys like me, myself, and you as well, like how the way that business things go, because that business thing is very, you can say it's dirty, but at the end of the day, man, it's business, man. It's just, it is what it is. You gotta understand it. You gotta, can't no emotions into it in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta. It is what it is. But that was my experience with that. That's probably the toughest time, because I end up going back to trying to. After that, I went down to Jacksonville trying to do a 2-day waiver down there. Really thought I was gonna get put on. Thought it was gonna be the same thing that happened to me when I was in Columbus. Like, I bet they gonna put me on. I had a good boom, 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 but it never happened, man. So I ended up going back home, man. And that probably was a rough time, man, seeing you guys on TV, man. And I was just up there, like, you know what I'm saying, and seeing them on TV. But I knew that wasn't the last stop for me though. And that's when I got the opportunity to go coach football, high school football at Freedom High School in Orlando, because a friend was down there at the time, and I ended up going to speak to the kids while I was still with the Predators. And he just asked me, man, do you want to coach? You ain't doing that. So, and that's how that happened. And that's how we end up coming back together in a sense as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been nothing but God, bro, because doors is opening up for you, like, at different timing, man. And like you said, for you to able to come back to Orlando, now you staying out here. At this point in time, we grinding. Like,
Right.
we talk about off season. We
Right.
grinding for sure, man. So, you know, Then the season come back around and you sign with the Voodoo, man. You guys is, I think you guys went to the playoffs, almost made it to the playoffs that year.
I don't.
Y'all
No,
barely missed it. Y'all
we
barely
barely.
missed it. Yeah, y'all
Yeah.
barely missed it. But you was a key contributor of the team.
Yeah.
So now I want to fast forward to we go to Tampa. I think this is 2016, 17. I'm in Cleveland now. You are playing for Tampa. First game of the season, y'all come out, y'all beat us. It was a close game. You flying around like a madman. You balling out this year. Everything's going right. Then you get injured. Sure, because now you have submitted yourself. Your name is big during this time. Like everybody's talking about Stubbs and what you're doing, which is a testament to you. What was that feeling though? Now that you have, you on the right path, like you said, your goal is to get to the next level, and unfortunately, you have an injury, and it would take you off for the rest of the year. What was your mindset now at that point?
That was a struggle that year. My mindset was trying to get better, man. And I was doing little things on my own trying to get better. And I feel like I kind of damaged some things even more because I was trying to speed up the recovery process in a sense. I played another hamstring injury, and that kind of set me back. And also what happened this time was more so, man, I got distracted even more. I got distracted, man, trying to fill that void with something else in the sense of just doing things that I know I need to be in the weight room in the sense of just instead of just being in the room all day and not doing anything. That kind of plagued me a lot. But other than that, man, I kept a positive mindset. I kept a positive mindset, thinking I'm gonna get back, and eventually I did get back. And then as I end up tweaking it again in practice, and I'm like, dang, man, but it's just one of those things, man. It's like God have a plan for you, man, and you got to understand it, And then I eventually came back towards the end of the season, and first play, Cleveland, exactly, Cleveland. They tried to try me deep and end up trying to go up for the ball, man, and pop my ACL. Then came back 2 plays later, didn't think that nut, just heard something in my knee, but I'm like my adrenaline rush. So I come back, and 2 plays later, man, my knee gave out, and that's when I found out I had kind of tore my ACL, and that was rough, man, because I was just not. I really was getting it, like, oh yeah, this about to be easy, like it's Kate word now, like you know what I'm saying. But it's all good, like it happened. And like I said, that was rough.
Yeah. So, I was checking in on you because, I tore my ACL when my first year in Orlando. So I was seeing how you was mentally and whatnot. And you would ask questions, which, people who get injured, please, man, reach out to people who have dealt with injuries that you're dealing with. Everybody's a little different depending on the surgery, but please reach out, get an understanding. We understand the business of it. People could take advantage of you as well. So you need to ask these questions like, hey, how they treat you, what's going on. So understand those things. So that year also, you guys went to the Arena Bowl, Tampa Bay. Unfortunately, you guys didn't win, but opportunity right there. So that sucked right there for you, just because you put in the work, but you're not able to finish the season out. But after this injury, man, you had an opportunity to continue to play or start coaching. Which did you pick, and why did you pick it?
So this movement was more so I still was recovering my ACL injury. Ended up getting called by Dean Coquinos. Benji called me first though. Benji McDowell. He ended up calling, man, Stubbo, man, you need to come up here, man. We need some help with the DBs, with everything on the calls. And I was like, man, I'm still doing my ACL, my rehab now. He's like, man, you can get this transferred up here, and we can kind of make this thing work. Only reason this happened is because in 2016, not the 17 Tampa year, but the 2016 Tampa year, Dean Kinos, he ended up getting that head coaching job at the Washington Valley. So we had no defensive coordinator at the time. So I had to call the defense. I had to watch the film. I had to break down the film. Me and Benji. So I do the back end. He'll do the front four. So that year right there kind of introduced me to my coaching even more in a sense. Then fast forward, Benji called me like, man, we can make this thing work like we did in 16. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, all right, cool. So I ended up taking that jump, leap of faith again. Like, bet I'm in there. Like, it's the AFL. I'm in there. Like, I got an opportunity to coach. Boom, help the boys out. So I ended up doing that and helping them out that first year in the AFL. I mean, the first, DC second year. All right, so I ended up going up there, helping them out. Dean ended up getting fired probably like 3 games in, with me being up there. Now it's all on me now. Like Dean is still have it a little bit, but now it's all on me. Now I can implement my little things or how the way I want to run things. So man, long story short, man, we end up going 4-11 that year. 4-11 that year. Everybody gets to get in the playoffs. But we always had that mindset going towards that end of the season, man, that man, we can turn this thing around, man. We can kind of make this thing work. We just losing just a tad bit, you know what I'm saying? So going into the playoffs, man, we played Albany first round. And we had to go up to Albany. Going up there, man, end up being Albany in their home arena. And now win the Arena Bowl. 2 games, you win.
And Albany was the number 1 team at this point.
Yeah, they're the number 1 team. And matter of fact, we had to play them twice.
Yep.
So we had to play Albany twice. And they came to us first. And I think they beat us by 1 point.
Yeah, beat y'all by like 1 or 2 points. Yep.
1 or 2 points. And then now we had to go up there, and it was that soccer type
aggregate for scoring or something like that.
Yeah. So we had to beat them by 3 points or 4 points if we was going to continue to go to the championship. So we ended up going to Albany, man. We ended up beating them. Beat them, I think by 7 points at the end of the game. And then we ended up going to the Arena Bowl, man, and we ended up dominating the Arena Bowl. And that's just what it was, bro. We was the best team that day on the field, man. And come to find out, Baltimore was one of the top teams that year too. Like just dominating, beating everybody, boom, boom, boom. And man, we ended up coming out there, man, and handling our business at the end of the day. And that's all she wrote, man. And I tell people, man, forget what the records say, man. At the end of the day, man, if this thing gonna turn around, it's gonna turn around, and you gonna take that thing and you gonna go with it. The biggest thing was, man, with Benji, man, because Benji ended up becoming the interim head coach, man. Man, like I said, man, he's more of a coach's player in a sense. You know, he hard nosed and everything, but he a coach's player in a sense. And with me and him kind of working this thing out, being former players, man, and most of those guys were our peers at one time too. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of gravitated towards us and kind of like respected what we had going on. So that was the biggest thing. If we had some cats that was just off the rail, that thing want to work, man. At the end of the day, man, we respected them. They respected us because we done played with those guys. And that's what happened, man. We believed in each other and everything was fair. Like we gonna keep it straight up with you. We want no regular other type coaches in a sense, just kind of, do things unordinary sometimes, but we're gonna keep it straightforward with you. And the next following year, that's when I did have an opportunity to come back. I was ready with my ACL and everything. And then, Benji kind of trying to steer me to go coach and everything. And then I kind of made the decision on, man, you know what? I can give more by coaching instead of me being on the field and helping the game out in that way. If I would have played, it would have been selfish reasons on my part, which I could have been selfish and wanted to play and just looked out for myself and wanted to continue and grow that legacy that I wasn't able to do. But coaching was the best option, because at the end of the day, I feel like, that's I'm gonna be a coach. That's what it's gonna be.
For sure. So man, you, regardless of what division it is. You have won a championship in the PIFL,
Yeah.
and now as a coach, now you have won as a new coach. I mean, that's very rare for someone to do that very soon. During Orlando, whatnot, got close in it. Even to Tampa, like I said, you got to the championship game, but you wasn't able to actually be a part of it. So now that you win as a coach, what is that experience for you though?
It was warm, man. It was warm. But when that happened though, I put in my mind like I'm gonna come back and win one as a player. But that didn't go back how the way it wanted to go. But as a coach, even though I felt like I still was a player because I'm still fresh out, but as a coach, it's like, man, I didn't want this thing over some cats that been in the game for a while. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't no disrespect or anything, but it's like, okay, Stubbo got something here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now put some respect on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's hard to give yourself a pat on the back. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, I know now it's like, bet, like I can do this. Like, ain't nobody gonna stop this. Like, we're gonna keep rolling. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, it was exciting though. It was cool, man.
So, man, unfortunately, the Arena League it ends up folding, cease operations. So, you're done coaching, playing is kind of off the table. It's other leagues, but they're not paying, so it's really not worth it. Right. So, do you desire to coach professionally again?
Oh yeah, of course. I feel like that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal again. Like, definitely. Like, yeah. If opportunity comes, it has to be the right situation, right opportunity in the sense. You know how some people like you're not gonna get the right why I can't get the right opportunity. Like, if this what I seek, it's gonna come. Like, I'm not, my mindset is not professionally or even college in a sense, but my mindset, like, I'm gonna keep those to myself in a sense of how to wait, but like I said, it gotta be the right opportunity. It gotta be right. It gotta be right.
So obviously you travel the world because of football taking you to different states and whatnot. But for the most part, you always stayed in the South until you went up to DC. So what was that experience for you? Because you always been in the South, always stayed local. You even live local as far as in the South. What was that experience living though up in DC for a time?
Man, it was cool, man. I love DC. I love DC. I love DC. DC treated me very well. But wasn't no difference, man, because at the end of the day, man, we have playing with different people. I say like with Tracy Belton, he's from the DC area. So, playing with different guys from different areas, man, they kind of take you in like you one of theirs in a sense. So it's not it's not a struggle of kind of adapting in a sense. As long as you, like I said, if you're a real cat, man, you gonna get along with real people. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna treat you adjust in a sense. Like, that's just what it is. I want to treat you how the way you're gonna treat me. And my mindset is always, treat others, how the way they're gonna treat you, and I'm gonna be genuine with what I got all the time. So and then my mindset with that is more so no harm will come my way because I'm doing what is right in the sense.
For sure, man.
But no, I love DC though. DC was cool.
Sure. I was trying to convince you, man, to come out on West Coast. You wasn't messing with me, man, at all. You wasn't messing with me. But man, this is my last question. Really, the floor is yours, man. I want to get you out. I appreciate you for your time. But this question, it can be for me or something you want to share with the audience as far as giving game to these young men coming up behind you. So the floor is yours as far as what you want to say.
You asking me a question or I just...
So the question is, do you have a question for me or do you want to share something for next people coming up?
I can share this, man. Always, man, at the end of the day, man, try to do your best at whatever you got at that time and moment. I would want to say this as well, like what J. Cole said, love yours at the end of the day. Don't think that things are not gonna go the way they are gonna go, man. I always just stick to your plan, man. Stick to your script. That's what we be saying now with my coach now, man. Stick to your script, man. Stick to the script. At the end of the day, man, stick to what you know and do, and it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out the way you wanted to work out. And just like I said, man, seeing is believing at the end of the day, man. If you see it, believe it, man. Believe it, because it's gonna happen. And man, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to speak and holler at your audience, man. I appreciate you, and you know, I like what you're doing now.
Oh man, always, bro. I've been thinking. I was like, man, I gotta have Stubbs on, man. Your story, bro. It is, you know, the big name people, they get all the honor and glory.
Yeah,
But you know, it's people you touching lives right there in the community, man, and people who really they can relate more to you than a big time name in the NFL or whatnot. So, man, for you just to share your story, man, I appreciate you, man. Nothing but love, success in your business, going forward and coaching, man. You know, it's nothing but love. Anytime you need to hit me up, let me know, bro.
I already appreciate you saying to you, you know.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. I get at
All
you,
right,
man.
bet, holla at me. Yo.